Hey guys, George Edelman from MovieWeb here. Loved the movie. Very excited to talk to the three of you. My first question is just, this is such a uniquely made film, and Steven Soderbergh is one of the great filmmakers.
Absolutely.
What was it like working with him in this almost experimental capacity with the way the camera was, etc.?
Well, Steven, as you know, has never really done a haunted, horror, paranormal movie before. So, as you can expect, he is going to completely flip it on its head and break the boundaries of like what a horror film can be. And I think that learning curve was something that was so special and so awesome and unique and just wonderful to be a part of.
Mm.
Yeah, I think in some ways for me it was scarier than the ghosts because I think he trusts us to bring a lot to the creative process, and so the first couple days we were shooting and we weren't getting any specific notes to kind of choreograph our performances. You realize oh, I have to come in with all of this already thought out, already prepared. I can't necessarily fall back on a director, just tell me what to do. So, yeah, it was really cool.
I think when I first read the script, I was like, wow, I just can only imagine how it's gonna look because the way I'm seeing it in my head is already so cool. But I had no idea how it was gonna be, accomplished. And of course, Steven did that, as he always does. And to be a part of that process with these guys, with Lucy, with Chris, I was just so grateful. And it was very fun, very unconventional. There was every scene was one take, so it felt like almost theatrical. We go into it, we could give it whatever we wanted to because there was no continuity. We didn't have to worry about anything. We could just exist as these characters and really play. And that was so, so fun. So that's probably
so much of it rests on the three of you and the way you react to things that are happening with the camera. What kind of director, what kind of notes does he give you? What kind of feedback? What was the interplay like? Maybe each of you can go through and give me a couple pieces of that, but just the dynamic or the way he talks to you about your performance as you go.
Well, I remember, the very first thing that Julie, one of our producers, told us was that Steven he is quick. Once he gets the shot, he's got it, and we're moving on to the next. And so she's like, don't be, discouraged if there's only a couple of takes or if you even do it in one take. That is just how he rolls, and he loves you for that. He'll tell you after after the day of shooting. But Steven just likes to be as efficient with our time as possible, which is something as an actor I appreciated so much because it just really allowed me to dive into my character head first, swim around and discover all the different things, wonderful things that were sort of laid out for me with David and Steven's script. And so once, I really got to build up the character. It was just living in the world. As Callina said, it was very much like a play, and because it was all one take, you got to play with it. Every time it was new, it was different, and it was fresh, and it just felt really alive.
See, I wish I got that heads up from Julie, because I didn't. And he didn't say much. He does not say much at all during filming. And this was my second film, and it was very different from my first film. And I just remember being in my head, and I was like, oh, wow, is this okay? Am I doing all right? And I remember asking Lucy and Chris, and I was like, hey, guys, just wondering, has Steven said anything to you guys? And they were like, no. Has he said anything to you? And I was like, okay, great. If Lucy and Chris aren't getting anything, I'm in the clear. But it was fun.
I think that's the same exact thing. It's kind of nerve-wracking until you realize, I think, that he's doing it because he wants you to bring everything you can and doesn't want to necessarily impinge on your creative freedom. And it wasn't until I talked to Chris, who'd shot The Nick, 2 seasons of The Nick with him, and was like, yeah, I got one note, I think, through all 2 seasons, that I was like, okay, this is just how it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, guys, I have to wrap. I've loved talking to you. I appreciate your time. Good luck with the movie and everything else. Thank you for taking the time and doing this.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.